Today we will complete chapter 7, The Sacred Garden. Page 51. Said you were going to die, he whispered. Well, you can see that's not true, said Colin. Now get down from the wall and come here. I want to talk to you. Here, do you remember who is Colin speaking to or talking to? Yes, he is speaking to or he is talking to Ben Weatherstaff, who saw them from from the wall. And he looked at Colin, and Colin spoke to him. Said, "You." They said you were going to die, he whispered. So Ben Weatherstaff said to Colin, the servant said that you were going to die. Well, you can say that's not true, said Colin. Not get. Now get down from the wall and come here. I want to talk to you. You have got to help us to keep the garden a secret. Yes, sir, said old Ben, as he dried his eyes because he was crying. That was the first of many beautiful afternoons in the sacred garden. Colin was brought there by Dickon and Mary nearly every day, and he saw all the changes that happened there during the spring and early summer. Ben Weatherstaff, now in the secret, joined them and as often as he could. One day, Colin spoke to all of them. Listen, everyone. I like there is something wonderful that makes gardens grow and things happen. Perhaps if I believe in myself, I will be strong. They all sat on the grass in a circle. Please underline this sentence. They all sat on the grass in a circle. Dickon with his crow, his fox, and the two squirrels, Mary, Colin, and Ben. Colin repeated these words several times. I am going to walk. I am going to walk. I believe in myself. At last, Colin stopped. Now I am going to walk round the garden, he said, and took Dickon's arm. Slowly he walked from one wall to another, followed closely by Mary and Ben. And when he had walked all the way round, he said, You see, I can walk now. It's wonderful, cried Mary. Your father will think he is dreaming when he sees you. So when Mr. Craven sees him, he will think that he is dreaming because Colin is standing and walking. I won't tell him yet. I'm going to keep it a secret from everyone. I'll come to the garden and walk and run a little more every day until I am as healthy as any other boy. Then, when my father comes home, I'll walk up to him and say, So, Colin here will say something to his father. Underline here, please. Here I am, father. You see, I'm not going to die again. So, Colin will say to his father, Here I am, father. You see, I'm not going to die. So, underline this quotation. Who said this? Yes, Colin, to whom he will say this to his father, that he is not going to die. Please turn over the page 52. Now began a difficult time for Colin and Mary. Dickon told his mother about it. One evening as he was digging the cottage garden, You see, mother, they don't want the doctor or the servant to guess that Colin can walk and getting better. So they have to pretend he is still ill and just as disagreeable as he used to be. So here now, Mary and Colin didn't want the Dr. Craven or the servant know that is Colin became well. He can stand, he can walk, and he isn't going to die as the doctor said. So he wanted to keep it a secret. They wanted to keep that a secret. And here Deacon speaks with his mother. So they have to pretend he is still ill and just as disagreeable as he used to be. If they are running about all day in the fresh air, that will make them hungry, I should think. Yes, that's the problem. They are both getting fatter and healthier, Mary and Colin, and they really enjoy their food now. But they have to send some of it back to the kitchen uneaten. If they eat it all, people will know how healthy they are. Sometimes they are very hungry. I know that we can do, said Mrs. Sorby. You can take some fresh milk, underline please this sentence. So Mrs. Sorby is Deacon's mother, Deacon's and Martha's mother. Yes, Mrs. Sorby. Underline this sentence. You can take some fresh milk and some of my newly baked bread. Again, you can take some fresh milk and some of my newly baked bread to the garden in the morning. If they have that, it will do them a lot of good. What a game those children are playing, and they laughed until tears came to their eyes. One afternoon, when they were all working, underline this sentence also. One afternoon, when they were all working in the garden, the door opened and a woman came quietly in. It's a mother, cried Deacon. So Mrs. Sorby visited them in the secret garden. It's a mother, said Deacon, and ran towards her. I told her where the door was because I knew she would keep the secret. Because Mrs. Sorby will keep the secret. Colin smiled at her. I have wanted to see you for a long time. So Colin, yes, knew Mrs. Sorby. He said, Dear boy, Susan Sorby whispered, you are so like your mother. So, as we have taken in the previous pages, that Colin has his mother's eyes. Yes. Do you think, asked Colin carefully, that will make my father like me? Yes, because his father didn't see him and he asked about that. I am sure it will, she answered warmly. He must see you. He must come home now. Turn over the page 53. And this is, as you see in the picture, this is Mrs. Susan Sorby, Deacon's and Martha's mother. Yes, that is. You see how healthy the boy is, Susan, asked old Ben. Look how strong and straight his legs are now. Yes, she laughed. Playing and working outside and eating good Yorkshire food has made him strong. So what did make Colin strong? Yes. Playing and working outside and eating good Yorkshire food has made him strong, and Miss Mary too, she added. Turning to Mary, Mrs. Medlock heard that your mother was a pretty woman. You will soon be as pretty as she was. She speaks to Mary. She sat down on the grass and stayed for a while talking and laughing with the children in the quiet sunny garden. When she stood up to leave, Colin suddenly said, I wish you were my mother. Mrs. Sorby smiled at him. Dear boy, you are as close to your mother as you could be here in her garden, and your father will come back soon. So now we have finished chapter 7. Let's practice them. So here, look at this quotation. Here I am, father. You see, I'm not going to die. Again, here I am, father. You see, I'm not going to die. Who said this? Do you remember? Yes, Colin, this quotation. Who is the speaker's father? Yes, Mr. Craven. How could the speaker become as healthy as any other people? Again, how could the speaker, yes, the speaker is Colin. How could the speaker become as healthy as any other people? So the answer is he will come to the garden and walk and run a little more every day until he is as healthy as any other boy. Again, he will come to the garden and walk and run a little more every day until he is as healthy as any other boy. Okay, this is the quotation. Let's complete. And here is the complete. You, the children, can take some fresh what? Yes, some fresh milk and some of my newly baked what? Baked bread. So here fresh milk and baked bread. One afternoon when the children were, yes, all working in the garden, the door opened and a woman come in. Again, we're all working in the garden, the door opened and a woman come in. So now we have finished chapter 7, the Sacred Garden. See you soon.